Members of the press, the leaders of NUP here present, honorable members of parliament, ladies and gentlemen. We are here this morning as a party, National Unity Platform Party, first of all, for two things. One, we want to stand with the people of Masaka and other people from Kasese and other areas in Uganda whose people are being killed left and right. We are hurting with you. We want to, I know Sore cannot do much, but we want to be with you in whatever you are going through. We know what it means to lose a loved one, especially in unclear circumstances like what is happening today. We therefore want to say that NUP is here to stand with you. We are hurting with you, and we are requesting you to stand firm, because we believe that sooner or later the killers are going to be exposed. You know what has been happening in Uganda. Those of you who read and follow what happens politically, after every election in this country, especially after when multi-party started, when the one-party system stopped operating in Uganda, after every election, there is always the wave, this kind of wave of killings. It has not only happened in Masaka, it happened in Kasese, it happened in northern Uganda, if you may recall, it happened in the east, and it is now happening in Kasese. There are many schools of if you critically analyze, you find that in any area where the current leader, President Museveni, where he doesn't get majority support, usually when elections are over, then killings begin, unexplained killings. And you know, if you sit down today and look at what is happening in Masaka, number one, there is curfew. We all know that the country is under local key. By 6, 7 o'clock, people are in their houses. Now, where are these machete wielding people coming from? Are they coming from Chotera? Are they coming from Tanzania? Are they Ugandans first of all? And why don't people identify them? If after all they are under curfew, under local key, where is the military? Where is the security? Where are the security forces during that time? Do they walk on feet? You know, there are $100 questions to answer. If people are locked in their houses, now these people, do they walk to those homes? And if they drive cars to those places where they murder people, don't the security see the rights? Do they drive without rights, security rights? Now that one brings me to one conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, that Ugandans are being killed by known people and known to the security. We have a proverb. There is a story in my language. Actually, there is a small book that was written by a former minister of long ago. He was called Case Nganwa, and the book is about Mutwarize Wakami, or the way Mr. Hare, those of you who can remember those stories. Now, Mr. Hare was very cunning and bad. He would trick other animals into, you know, dangerous situations to reach an extent of killing them. But in the morning, he would be the very person to get there and say, hey, you people, sorry, you are being killed here and there. It's because it is that bad neighbor who is killing you. Now, this one reminds me again of what one of the ministers, the Honorable Kayindo Tafire, said one day when they were burying one of the former ministers, the late to the Ronwa Adonia. You know, he told the story of how they operated during the NRM struggle. I think those days long ago in the bush. They'd go kill people in an army uniform belonging to the state. Then in the morning, they'd run there first in the morning, and say, oh, you see, this government is killing you. And I want to believe, ladies and gentlemen, and call upon Ugandans to say no to this kind of murderous regime, because they are doing it to humiliate the people, they are doing it to instill fear, so that everyone now can hate opposition. Now, last night I was on TV. I saw during this program on TV, they were talking about when one of the ministers, the Minister of ICT, this man from Kanungu, Honorable Ebijambiya, he is accusing politicians. Now, if I may ask, ladies and gentlemen, who are the politicians? Is it this one? Is it Honorable Mpuga and his team who won elections in Masaka? You know, after winning, now they go back and start killing old women. What is the motive of these panga-welding people? For me, and NUP, I want to believe that we know we are beginning now to getting closer to the people, because we can do political analysis and understand the situation. We have seen people are killing old people. They are not even taking their things. They are not taking anything. And I believe no thief or nobody can go in a place and just kill anyone without stealing anything. What would be the motive? Unless, of course, the politician Honorable Ebijambiya was referring to are themselves. And indeed, they are. As a way forward, but before that, I want to talk about the theory of compensation. Uganda government has this bad habit of killing people, and then in the morning they compensate them. I don't know how they value life. You know, I come from Western Uganda, and among the Banyankore, these Banyankore you see, they come and do that. And then in the morning, they come and give you money. And yet, even the money they are talking about, I'm sure all of you have heard that every family is going to receive 10 million. Now, can you compare 10 million shillings with life? The other day, one of the gentlemen in Kawempe here, Zebra, was killed, and I don't know if these people know what it means to lose somebody. Somebody gives you 10 million, thinking that 10 million is going to talk to you at night, 10 million is going to buy food in family, 10 million is going to cancel and bring up your children. So this theory is bad, and I want to condemn it. But also I want to ask, for us during elections, you will recall that we lost many people, beginning from Kavuma. Each time, none of them. And today, Ugandans, ladies and gentlemen, we are saying, if compensation is going to be done by everybody who is going to be killed, then let it cut across. Even those who don't support the regime should be compensated, ladies and gentlemen. Then, you have heard many theories about these people who are killing people, including the leaders. Each one of you, I'm sure you have been following what is happening in the press, and we know that sooner or later, this God whom we trust is going to exonerate Uganda. I want to call upon our members of parliament and commend the job they are doing. I saw them tasking the minister to give a report, but even the report that was given in that house was not satisfactory, because they don't even know how many people have been killed and for what reasons. And I want to believe that if it had been us, even now, I'm not sure that the police is not already surrounding here, because each time there is a small meeting, even in the periphery, even in the districts out there, the security is always on the run, chasing us around. How then can they not be available to protect the lives of the people in Masaka? So I want to commend the work they are doing, these members of parliament, I saw them doing a good job, and I want to believe that with continued pressure, with continued support, especially from you, the members of the press, and then our members of parliament and the general public, Ugandans will be able to have peace. You know, when the NRM government came to power, they came on the premise of peace. Now you can even read backwards and know that perhaps the same tactics they used to instill fear, to intimidate and humiliate the people, if you recall what happened in northern Uganda, is what they are practicing elsewhere. And now that the peace is dwindling, now government is going to come in and say, oh, you see, we are here, we have brought peace, now support and start singing President Museveni. I am not going to say much, ladies and gentlemen. That is our position as NUP. We stand with you, the people of Masaka. We stand with you, all Ugandans, and we want to call upon even the local people generally to get up and get out of the curfew and protect yourselves, since government is not ready to protect you. I thank you.
That is our beloved Vice President. She has eloquently put it across. There has been a manifestation and a brag by General Museveni that he's the master of violence, and their ideology is violence. So when you see such violence happen for a long time without answers, then he quickly comes out and says it is politics, they are pigs, it shall be finished. Then he is the very person who is playing the politics. That is what I have understood best from the presentation of our dear Vice President. Thank you very much. Without wasting time, let me invite the Secretary General, Mr. Lewis, to come and expound more on these occurrences.
People power, our power. Thank you so much, members of the press. We really appreciate you for coming to listen to us. Again, I'm not going to speak for a long time. I'm just going to emphasize a few things. First of all, Madam Deputy President, Deputy Secretary General, party leaders, the honorable members of Parliament here, and of course, you members of the press. I join the Deputy President to send condolences, deep condolences to the people of Masaka, who are indeed being massacred left, right, and center. And we pray that God will rest the souls of those who have been murdered in eternal peace. Again, on behalf of our President, who is not here today with us, but he's away on official duty, he also sends condolences and a message of support to the people of Masaka, and promises at an appropriate time to visit the area. And of course, we know, as we all know, what will happen the day he decides to visit that area. You will see all the security come out to focus on him, you know, and this is what we've been seeing all the time. While we are having campaigns, you could hardly, you know, look at any distance and you don't see military police, LDUs, all sorts of people, soldiers in the, you know, ordinary camouflage, then those in plain clothes, and all that. But after the elections, of course, that they rigged and did whatever they did, they ceased to care. And that is what we see now, that the people are on their own. The operation was really aimed at making sure that they keep power at any cost. And as you all remember, most of the deployment was in the greater Buganda area, but most importantly in the Masaka sub-region. So we are asking ourselves, if the regime could deploy all manner of security during elections, why can't they now deploy the same kind of security when Ugandans are being killed and the regime claims that they don't know who is killing them? Of course, we have seen what is going on now. Every time there is a security threat, whether caused by whoever, they go around rounding up people, some of whom later turn out to be innocent people who are just rounded up. Unfortunately, when those people are rounded up, we all know what happens. They torture them, do all manner of things to them. You remember what happened to the Andrew Kawesi suspects? And up to today, some of them, of course, were released without charge. And yet, they were tortured and, many of them, their lives completely shattered. The images of the General Katumba suspects are still fresh in our minds. People are just rounded up, some killed on spot, and others, as we speak, are suffering with torture wounds and all that. And let them be subjected to due process of the law, because many of them turn out to be innocent people who are just rounded up for one reason or the other and taken through horrendous episodes of torture. Of course, the Deputy President talked about the question of compensation. I'll just hint on it very, very briefly. But all people of Uganda remember that in November last year, when over 100 citizens in our estimates were murdered, the regime came out and promised to compensate them. And many Ugandans were asking, of course, we all know what will happen. They will talk about many times these are just politically motivated. And I will remind you of the PRA situation. You know, after reform agenda, Dr. Bessie and all that, the regime came. How can you go around killing people and then you talk about people who are belonging to PRA? So we've seen this happen. When we came up as People Power, the first thing they said, and I used to see headlines from some of their type, that now People Power is training rebels. We have made it clear the struggle in Uganda is a non-violent struggle against dictatorship, and we are certainly going to succeed in this struggle. The same regime which claimed that Honorable Chagulanyi had guns in Arua in his hotel room can definitely lie about anything. Opponents, in order to either may God bless you.